Welcome to Bus Speakers. I'm Kush.
I'm Alex.
I'm Cam.
And today we're reviewing Elinor Dougall, Stellular. Rose Elinor Dougall is an indie pop artist. Formerly she was part of the Pipettes, but I think they separated or she left. And this is her second solo album, but the first one was made in 2010, so it's been 7 years since she put out a solo album. And personally, I think this is the pop that I really enjoy, the hip hop music that I really just love listening to. Almost every song on here was interesting, was unique, they sounded different, and just had a lot of very, very different aspects that just worked really well together as a complete coherent album.
Yeah, I think she actually released an EP in 2013, but even that's still pretty slow output. Yeah, I think I heard her 2010 debut album, Without Why, and this is a major step up for me. There were some dream pop elements on that album, but this one encompasses psychedelic, synth pop, singer-songwriter, even some like folk vibes into a nice, warm, jubbly sound that is basically, I agree, Kush, the kind of pop that I love today, and Without Why hinted at some of that, but 6 years probably working on this has led to a big upgrade of the sound, and the songs on here are just amazing. Although I did have to listen to it a few times to really have a lot to say, because there's so much going on here that so many elements that it could just pass you by a bit. But this is definitely one that rewards repeated listenings, I'd say.
I am going to slightly disagree. I like this. And I'm looking forward to what she's going to put out next and try to check out what she's already got out. But the first time through, I caught myself thinking this is kind of like what Carly Rae Jepsen would be putting out if she went full art in the art pop. But then the second time through, I just noticed that I think the mixing on this album was not very good because, especially like on the first two tracks, I thought that her voice just got completely buried in the sound, and I don't think that's necessarily what what she was going for, because this is it seems like a very songwriterly album. Like it's supposed to be about her and the songs and the lyrics and her personality, but then a lot of the time her voice just kind of got buried in the synths. And I mean, it's all very pretty sounds. She's a very good singer, and she picked good sounds to have surrounding her, but sometimes I just couldn't make her out of everything, and sometimes it wasn't even just atmospheric synths that were drowning her out. It was just the music itself was too loud, and it was just kind of hard to really embrace everything and get a great sense of who she is and what she was trying to accomplish with the album. So I have mixed feelings on it, to say the least.
I mean, for me,
Yeah.
there's only one song that really I just didn't enjoy, was All at
Right.
Once.
Oh no, that was my favorite. Oh god.
Oh, you're killing the poor guy.
I hated I wouldn't say I hated it. I liked aspects of it, but I think the whispering portion of it just didn't work at all. And I felt like that her voice is fine and the instrumentation fine, but they didn't really fit together really well. And the groove was infectious. I loved, I was kind of dancing to it in my seat, but the whispers just didn't really work for me, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Okay, well, if you were dancing in your seat, I was pretty much having a house party in my room. This is just exactly what I love about music, basically. I mean, the guitars, the synths, and the drums combine so well, and like you say, the groove just works seamlessly together. The whispered spoken word bit that you're talking about,
Yeah.
it kind of reminded me of Blondie's Rapture a bit, even though that was clearly much more of a rap than this is, but it's just the drums, basically. The drums sound like they have the exact same timing, so it's basically that. and I don't know. This is just everything I love about pop music, basically. I just thought there's some weird aspect to it where the like synths, I don't know, jutter or warble while the drums are still going. That was just really, really infectious to me. I don't know what was done here, but it's really well done. And yeah, this is just exactly what I want from pop. I mean, there's some songs you like that much, so you can't really say why you like it. It just did something to me. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, differing opinions happens. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, my reaction to that was pretty funny because I did not expect that to be like a least favorite. Because whenever I was re-listening to this, I was always like, "Oh, when's All at Once coming back on?" And so yeah, probably my favorite. Another song I really liked was "Stellular," the title track. I think this probably the problem with the lyrics on this album is they're all basically the same kind of agenda with them. She's basically using imagery to showcase how much she loves this person, or
well,
all the lyrics are extremely romantic, basically.
For the most part, but the one song that lyrically stood out to me was "Wanderers,"
right.
The very last song, and it's like a ballad and the minimalistic ballad really like just showed off her voice. But lyrically, that song, she's talking about like growing up, finding herself, and then becoming more mature. And in the meantime, she's realizing all this stuff she did wrong, and she's asking for forgiveness, which is a really tough topic to cover, to admit that you're wrong in music, which people do. I know that they do. It's just that when they do it, I think it comes like from a special place, and I think that the emotion really portrayed in this song in Wanderers. But I can agree the rest of the songs were like a lot of romance, a lot of lovey-dovey songs, but still enjoyed it.
I don't mind that usually, and I didn't mind it at all here, really. It's just I couldn't really analyse this lyrically because it was all basically the same kind of mindset she had going. There weren't any bad lyrics, I'd say.
Yeah. So my thing with romance music is that I'm okay with romantic music as long as it's not cheesy. Like a lot of pop music just gets really cheesy and really obnoxious, or it's not too explicit. Like remember the AFI song? It's like I'm not red enough in the bed enough. That was stupid. But the best example for this is I don't know if you listened to the Kid Cudi album that came out late last year.
No, it's on my wish list.
It wasn't good, but
oh really? I thought people liked it compared to the other one.
Speed and Bullets. Well, everyone liked it compared to that. But my point is that there's one song on there. I don't remember which one, but there is just explicit him having sex in the song, and like him moaning and the girl moaning, and it's like no one wants to listen to this. Come on. But I think the way she did it was really masterful and tasteful, like by using different metaphors and similes and analogies to compare her love to someone, and just playing it in different tones was really interesting for me, at least. It didn't get boring to me.
Yeah. So I was saying Stellular's probably got the best lyrics on here during the chorus. You know, you are Stellular, soon constellations burn brighter. It's just really strong imagery, even if it doesn't make exact amount of sense. And I think this is a song where the keyboards and synths work really well, and you know, she has a general good sound on here, but some songs are more folky, some are more synth pop, some are more psychedelic. There were definitely some where that she had vocal effects going really strongly that kind of made her voice really I don't know, exaggerated and cool. I don't know.
How about you, Cam? Any standouts?
I think Space to Be was my favorite. It just has my favorite beat to it. Great sound, like almost kind of like space pop. I don't know if that's even a thing. Like, you know, we got space rock, and you know, this one just had like really wide open sound to the production, and very not quite twinkly synths, like not Midwest emo twinkle or anything like that, but just and I mean, it's not like, I mean, it's because it has space in the title, duh, that's why spacey. No, it's like it just Good.
It had like a droney, futuristic vibe to it, and I thought I caught that too. It was like a just more ambient and more minimalistic for the entirety of the song.
Yeah, and it's just like I just love the lyrics of it, and I was like trying to find any, but I can't find any website with lyrics from this album in particular. But it's just like, this is the one where I thought that like all of her, like I think this one may be a bit more vague about love, like not having quite as strong imagery, but I think it's just like this song is the best combination of the great sound of all the instruments, great production. Her voice is high enough in the mix that I can like totally make her out, and it's just like a very good melody matched with decent lyrics and a great interpretation on her part, which is kind of an essential thing. I'm discovering that is more and more these days what draws me into a singer, whether or not they're a good interpreter of the lyrics. Like, they can be the worst lyrics in the world, but just try to sing them with meaning and intent, and I'll probably be okay with it. And this one like might be a little weaker on the quality of the lyrics, but it's just like I love what the song is about. I love how she's singing it, and I think it's just the best combination of all the good elements on this album.
If that was your favorite song on here, you should definitely check out her first one, because that's the song that sounds the most like that. And I know space pop probably isn't a genre, but I'd say maybe dream pop's the closest that most people know about.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say this was like any kind of dream pop that I know of.
Yeah.
Like I'm losing track of what I've said so far for everything. Like I didn't hear anything that was like as ambient or atmospheric as what I think of dream pop. Like there wasn't any kind of slowcore influence or anything on here, and I feel like if like she had wanted to go for one of those genres, then maybe songs like the first two, Color of Water and Strange Warnings, maybe her voice getting lost in the mix of those songs would have worked a little better for me. But like I was saying, I still feel like this is supposed to be like a performer showcase album, and not really one where you're just like completely supposed to get lost in the sound of it. And you can in some of the songs and the best songs on here, but there are others like those two that I think just needed to be less dreamy than they were, if I'm making any sense at all.
Well, there's some people who hear dream pop and think dreaming away, being like kind of lucid dreaming, looking at the night sky. It's that kind of imagery with it in some way. That's the only way I can kind of relate it to space pop. And there is actually a genre in the 50s called space age pop.
Really?
Which I've never heard any of it, but I can't imagine it being that experimental if it's a pop genre in the 50s.
That's true.
But, that might be interesting at least.
Did any of you guys catch who the feature was on Dive? I couldn't figure who that was.
No, but I think it was her boyfriend actually who was in another band, I think.
He had a really good voice. I was surprised.
I love that song. That
Yeah.
had some of the best imagery about, I don't know, love making it in the ocean, I guess. When there's stuff like I'll dive into the sea, I'll swim, I'll sink, I'll follow me. It's all very Fantasyland, Little Mermaid type lyrics, kind of. But they're nice lyrics, and it really does sound like she loves the guy she's duetting with on that song.
Yeah, I thought that was a good song. The only other song that was okay for me was Hell and Back. Hell and Back was a little bland for me. It was kind of generic pop music, but I think most of the other songs, like Poison Ivy, was great, and Closer was great. And Closer actually reminded me of like a Madonna style person. I don't know why.
Maybe because it had dodgy lyrics like I don't care about your bands, it's 3:45 a.m. but I'll be your biggest fan tonight, stuff like that. Maybe.
Probably, I don't know. It just reminded me of Madonna, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Take Yourself With You was a really nice song. It's really catchy, and at worst it was just repetitive, but I think that's okay when done in certain contexts. Answer Me was great. Pianos on that record, absolutely fantastic. The lyrics are also really good. It's about like Answer Me is like about a lover who's ignoring her, and she's begging to talk to him, like, please give her a chance. Which normally is normally it's the other way around. Normally the guy's begging the girl to give him a chance, but I guess it works both ways.
Yeah, no, I think we're overlooking the first song, Colour of Water, which is a great opener, and it just lures you in with a irresistible guitar chord and has a great tone, and the drums just kick you into focus. It's basically the perfect opener I can think of for this album.
That's true. I like that.
It kind of reminds me of some Beach Boys post Smile works and how it.
I said like 70s, 80s pop vibe.
Yeah, it just sounds like something that Brian Wilson would have on Smile, like Heroes and Villains, just how it so effortlessly goes from one section to another and has some really good vocals, actually, and some great harmonies. And there's this backing vocal that goes like, whoa, 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 obviously done better than that, that I just really loved as well. So I think listening to that kind of tells you whether you'll like the album or not. You know, it has most of the elements of it on it, I'd say, because it's probably the longest song on here at 5 minutes.
What would you rate it, Alex?
I'm going to be extremely generous because I listened to it again last night and I really loved it even more. I mean, I noticed songs like Hell and Back, even though I didn't love it first few listens, I'm starting to really appreciate the production on it. So I'm going to be generous and give it a 9.
Oh, a 9.
Extremely generous, probably, but you know, this is what can I ask for in music? This is basically when I think of pop rock, I guess, is probably closest to narrowing this down to one thing. This is basically all I need from an album.
How about you, Cam?
I am just gonna give it a 7. I like the sound of it. I mean, I love the sound of it, and I can tell that she's definitely a talent to watch out for, but there are just enough things about it that don't work for me, mostly in the mixing, that I just can't really love it. And I'm not completely convinced that there's like enough great songwriting in here to ever elevate the songs above the sound of the songs, I guess, in my mind. If any of that made a lick of sense.
Yeah, kind of made sense, yeah. Fine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a big old 7.5. Close to an 8, but the song All at Once had me kind of upset. But I
that's
think
weird. That's probably the song that made it up to a 9 for me.
But I just felt like almost every song was really good, things I enjoyed. And normally I'm not a big pop fan, but I think this was unique, different, and just an enjoyable record altogether and very coherently put together. Then if that's it, then thanks for tuning in to Busted Speakers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Let us know what you feel about this album in the comments below, and check us out on social media.